Good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are joining from. Welcome to the World Lunch performance on embracing creativity in flavors, organized with
Morning, good afternoon,
conference, weaving a shared future together. I'm Nino Lotishvili, a Rotary Peace Fellow, founder of NGO Peace Research Center Tbilisi and Mindful Georgia. Together with me, we have one of my inspiring colleagues, Sharada Jawali, joining us from Nepal. But before introducing her as a speaker, let's set our intentions for our pleasurable cooking performance, mindful cooking performance. So I'm inviting my amazing tech support to put the music, and I'm inviting you to close your eyes and just become aware of your breath. This precious gift that was given from existence. And which reminds us to enjoy the present moment. In this modern world, unfortunately, everything is done quickly. And we are trapped in our past, or we have anxiety about future. And we miss this precious moment, which is the present moment. So let us set the intentions for this beautiful, mindful cooking session. Just become aware that right now there is no past and there is no future. It's just the present moment, here and now. And we have these beautiful ingredients in front of us. And we have to check, what do we really want to cook? Sometimes our bodies give us some signs, messages. And when we do so, we do not put junk foods in our precious body. So we really pick mindfully our ingredients and cook consciously, because cooking can be also a sacred ritual. And feeling this gratitude that we have those ingredients in front of us, to enjoy them, to sense, to welcome all of our senses. So take a deep breath in and breathe out. And come back to this present moment. And let us all enjoy this mindful cooking performance. So now I am introducing my inspiring colleague Sharada, joining us from Nepal. And yeah, she will talk about the healthy nutrition. So Sharada is a development specialist currently working as a freelance consultant. She has a master's degree in economics, professional development course on health and nutrition from the US University, and she's a Rotary Peace Fellow. That's where we met each other. Combining her hobby of health cooking with self-care, Sharada continues to share creative recipes, both local and fusion. To groups interested in well-being, she has authored the recipe book Nepali Home Cooking for Healthy Living, promotes Nepali spices and herbs through cooking classes, and educates women and youth on healthy eating practices. To turn her learning experience to practice, she's currently engaged in mentoring youth under the initiative The Nutri Kitchen by producing healthy food and beverages. So, dear Sharada, the stage is yours, and I will be back after Sharada with my mindful cooking session. My mindful cooking session.
Okay. Namaste, everyone again. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, because we are working with the different time zones. And thank you, Nino, for this excellent introduction. Okay. Namaste, everyone again. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, because we are working with the different time zones. And thank you, Nina, for this excellent introduction. Okay. Namaste, everyone again. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, because we are working with myself. I'm hearing myself for this excellent introduction.
So hop in and just leave the Zoom open. We have close the hop in website.
There seems to be an audio glitch.
You have to just only have the Zoom open and close the page with the hop in website.
Okay, yeah, I think that's done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now, is it okay?
Yeah.
The echo is gone. Hello, everyone. Again, I am back. So in this, actually, I have been given role of speaking about mindful cooking in terms of Ayurvedic perspective. That is my context here. In fact, I have given this presentation to the college students and a few groups, few associations, including some local Rotary clubs in Kathmandu. And this is the first time that I have been given opportunity to speak to the larger audience, and I find it very, very important, and thankful for the organizer and especially Rotary for giving me this opportunity to share my experience on the mindful cooking through the mindful cooking sessions. So without wasting time, actually, I will be sharing my experience while cooking because we have so limited time. In my studies that I have started like 8 years ago about this food studies and research, working with a Brazilian girl, teaching her Ayurvedic cooking in Nepal. Actually, I was not trained in Ayurvedic cooking as such. I'm not a formal student of Ayurveda, but this is what I learned from my mother and my grandmom, and my own cooking was really Ayurvedic. You know, I mean, my home cooking was really using the Ayurvedic approaches. So this Brazilian girl was in fact an Ayurvedic student, and she ran a naturopathic clinic in Brazil, and totally vegetarian. So she came to learn Nepali cooking with me. And then I gradually developed this interest on myself. So I started interviewing people. I really did so many studies, and then also came up with this recipe book, Nepali Home Cooking for Healthy Living, which is available in the Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And this book experience gave me a social responsibility. Then I started getting questions from others about food, about health and well-being, and how to remain fit throughout your life, how to slow down aging, or what to eat, what to feed the pregnant or lactating women or children food, elderly women. You know, I mean, there were so many questions coming up, so I continue to work on that. And then now, after 2 years, after I came back from the Rotary from Thailand 2017, I set up this Nutri Kitchen in Kathmandu, where people come here and come to learn these different concepts from me. And I really teach them um, based on their individual needs, because the Ayurvedic concept is really defined that way. Your body is different. You have individual needs, you have individual health problems, you have your conditions are different, your environment is different, so you have to cater your food according to that need. And to very simply define it, I find the Ayurvedic cooking, which is mindful, very, very mindful, is for good life, health, and wellness. And while working on throughout this process, I have come up with 7 different good cooking practices, which all are related to the mindful cooking, and then it is all based on some purpose and considering the individual's health and wellness. So while I cook, now I have among the 7 good practices, one practice is sprouting beans and seeds. So gradually I'll explain other practices, but the first practice I find it is the selection of ingredients, which is seasonal. In Nepal, we have so many festivals. We have different seasons. Every 2 months we have our season changes, and we have so many things given by the nature that you have to, your body demands, and then you have to really look for those seasonal ingredients to cook your meal. And that is really one key to the mindful cooking practice. And the sprouting is also associated with our festival. Next month coming up is a special day. I mean, I think August, 22nd of August this year is the day where when you eat sprouted beans, and it is celebrated as a festival. And then this is why now I have started doing this, and my teaching involves that why you focus yourself only on the festival. You have to really bring it to a practice, because your culture has taught you, your tradition has taught you how to use this, how to really maximize the benefit of or goodness of all these ingredients. So I have really started sprouting beans for this year. So I'm teaching that to you. I have 2 recipes. I'll be cooking one and making salad out of another. So let me start my stove. When cooking, I use mustard oil most of the time. I find that mustard oil has the highest boiling point, and it is really our traditional ingredients. I think all Nepalis use mustard oil for their cooking. Now there are so many other different oils introduced in the market, but I am still sticking to that. But I really also want to suggest that you can multiply your the types of oils, because each oil has certain benefits like coconut or peanut or sunflower. So while the oil is being heated, so this time I'm cooking the soup out of mixed beans. This mixed beans is mm, made of 9 different beans. You can add 10 or 8 or depending on the availability in your country. And this is really, to talk about the goodness of the sprouting, the bean has protein. Everybody knows that. And when sprouting, the process happens, then the protein is already digested. So your gut, area doesn't get any trouble of digestion of the protein. And you can give it to the children or elderly or with any health condition. And with the sprouting process, there are a number of minerals and vitamins added to the sprout. So what happens is the whole nutrition gets, and the oil is hot. I am popping some carom seed. Carom seed is a very good source of calcium and very good help for digesting the beans. And with the carom seed, I am really adding this daily to help develop some flavor in it, and fry some onion. And then the sprouting really sprouting process develops the vitamins and minerals, and it becomes a whole food. And we usually eat this with rice, and bean and rice, combination of beans and rice produces the best amino acid. So that is really providing the whole food in your body, and your mind and soul is satisfied. So with this, so I'm adding some tomato paste, tomato puree to this, and some turmeric. Turmeric is one of the must spices in the Nepali kitchen. We don't like to eat white food. We have to either it is for color, but it has number of benefits. It is antiseptic, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and now with the COVID situation going on, it is recommended to drink turmeric water to improve your immunity and cleanse your lungs and throat. So our food includes turmeric all the time. Every time, to save the time, I cook this bean already. I had boiled this bean to save my time here. Otherwise, I would pressure cook it to make it softer. So it is almost cooked. Now I am adding some garam masala. Garam masala is mix of all 12 spices here, and it is also providing different benefits. And my second, third good practice is combination of or spicing up right. So for the beans, carom seed is the best combination, and this garam masala is also providing many health benefits, including digestion and reduction of inflammation, joint pain, or gastritis in your stomach. There are so many benefits to this. So now I have added enough of the spices, a little bit of garlic and ginger to it. Our cooking doesn't really involve measuring, measuring tips. We don't really measure in grams or spoons or things like that. It is our ancestors didn't really teach us how to measure. So now I have learned a little bit, but I am really using my traditional method here. So while it is being cooked, I'll cover it. Maybe add some more water because it is supposed to be a little soupy. So the next thing is that I'm quickly doing a salad out of sprout. This is a platter. I'm putting this turmeric leaf. I grow turmeric in my garden. So I'm putting this turmeric leaf because it is very important for me, as I have really communicated benefits of turmeric. So I'm putting this turmeric leaf and then plating the salad. So this is chickpea, chickpea, brown chickpea, I'm making salad out of brown chickpea, and I grew up eating this chickpea all the time. When I was a child, there was no instant food, no junk food. We were not supposed to eat any junk food, so I grew up eating this salad all the time. So this chickpea, in this chickpea now, in old days, we just were given this with some lemon juice, a little bit of black salt, and a small chili flakes, things like that. But now I am really practicing through Nutri Kitchen, practicing fusion and improvised recipes. So I am adding more ingredients to this. Now I'm adding this mung beans a little bit, fenugreek seed a little bit, because you can really sprout any seed, any beans all the time. And then in the sprouting process, how you sprout is you soak beans or seeds overnight and then wrap it in some muslin cloth like this. This sprout comes like that, and you sprinkle water a little bit. You really take care of it very seriously. You put some love or affection to this, then it becomes mindful. Otherwise, it will get more fungus, and then you get infection. And to avoid fungus and infection, I have really, in old days, I used to eat raw, but now you never know. There might be some pesticide, some medicine, some preservatives added to these beans. So I have really steamed this bean a little bit to prevent, side effects. So now I have this raw thing, my fourth good practice is color combination. Combine the color, make everything, all your plates rainbow. Like last year, I visited Australia, and then in Australia, I visited some schools, and they were teaching the students and parents how to eat rainbow. So I think this is also being very popular. Now, adding white, white in the form of cabbage, adding green in the form of capsicum, adding red in the form of tomato, adding another green in the form of cucumber, and adding some orange, you know, as I had some carrots. I wish I could have more colors like purple, cabbage, and there are so many different colors you can find in the market, but because of the lockdown, not available. So, so now I have all these wet material, and then I add some lemon juice as a dressing item, and some black salt, because I hardly use the table salt. I use black salt in the raw eating, because black salt has less sodium, and I don't want to increase your blood pressure. And this is black pepper. Black pepper helps digest the green, so I try to combine this. And I also want to have some souring agent in the form of mango powder. And then I have this sesame seed in the sesame oil. In the soup, I used mustard, but now I'm using this sesame oil. Look, I'm not measuring, I'm just guesstimating. And sesame oil also is a very good combination in your salad. And then keep it for a while so that the leaf of the turmeric also leaves some flavor and then goodness to the salad. And then you can serve it as a whole meal. You know, this you can eat as a dinner, as a snack, or your if you are obese, you know, you can really try this to manage your health and your weight by eating as a whole food, and then that will help you maintain your body and keep you fit. And then to make it wholesome, I have some pumpkin seeds here. I have some crushed peanuts here, and then some crushed soybean. And then I wanted to also to add some good fat to this, and I have some sesame, flax, and hemp seed powder, which every day I use this in some meals. And then I have some green chives. You know, you can add some spring onion, you know, or whatever you have. And this is ready to serve. I don't know who cares from your side. So by this time, my soup is ready. My soup is ready to serve. And now I'm really plating this. And what happened? So this soup is usually served with rice, and as I said, rice and beans produce the best amino acid, and then it becomes a whole meal. And I am really having some side dishes here, like bitter gourd salad. And then I like to explain about the 6 tests that you have to consider in mindful cooking. For instance, I have this, the rice is a little sweet in, we usually, you know, try to add 6 tests, like rice is a little sweet thing. and bitter gourd bitter. And in the bitter gourd, I have added some astringent or pungent spices. Like I have this in the plant, like I have plants in my kitchen. Like this flower is called toothache flower, and I have added this as an astringent taste, and then it also helps digest your food. And I also have chili in the rice that is hot. And then what is missing here? And then I like to serve this to you. And I don't know who cares this rice and beans. And then another good practice that that I have been using is fermenting. Fermentation. Again, having come back from the Rotary trip, after opening this Nutri Kitchen, I started fermenting kombucha, because Nepal has a great way of fermenting vegetables. We have ripe mango, ripe pickles, and vegetable pickles, and radish, cucumber, everything. But kombucha, I learned it from other countries. So I also do sauerkraut and use this as a fusion. So I think my time is ticking, and if there is any interaction questions, I would be willing to reply. Namaste. Nino, back to you. Hello. I think my time is over. If you have.
Sharada, there is a question in the chat box from Sarah. She would like to know how long you've been cooking.
Oh, I have been cooking from the 10 years of my age, helping my mom and the eldest daughter with 4 siblings, 2 years, 1 year apart, and helping my mom all the time. And then that really, was my interest. And then I have a little gray hair. That also shows some experience there. And then I never stopped. It is my interest as well. And I also took some courses on health and nutrition, from the US. And then that was about international nutrition. Did not really, help me in what I have been doing here. But, it was helpful to reinforce my interest.
Awesome. Thank you. Sarah saying that's great. You started with your mum and that inspired your passion. So thanks, Sarah, for the really great question. All right, I think we need to move on to Nino now. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. I love how many times you mentioned, look, not measuring.
Yeah.
All right, Nino, you ready to go?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Wonderful. Okay, so welcome back. And now we will move from Nepal to Georgia. And we will cook one of the Georgian traditional dishes. So I have here some of the ingredients needed for this mindful cooking practice. And as I was setting intention, so yes, I am feeling the connection now with these ingredients. Of course, we don't have a lot of time. The idea was to immerse into the process together, cut together everything, and really enjoy this practice. But since we don't have enough time, I have prepared before the ingredients. So I am starting with with minced or diced onion that I'm putting on pan. I don't know if you can see me very well. And I am adding some oil for cooking. So it needs to be a little bit sauteed. And then we add some tomato, nicely chopped, mindfully chopped, by the way. But I will wait a little bit. Then after tomato, so I have also, I will explain this before we add this onion sauteed. So this is the sauce that I have already prepared out of walnuts, garlic, 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, 200 walnuts, and some spices. So this is the dried marigolds. You can see this. And Pinot Gris. Red chili pepper. And dried coriander. So these are the spices that we need for this dish, but I have already put into this sauce. I will add just a little bit of chili. So this is actually blended. Ideally, traditionally, the people used to use this, I don't know how is it in English, this stone presser or whatever. So yes, this was to show you the walnuts. And as I already said, this is the pleasurable moment, enjoyable moment. So we should not rush and do things quickly. We just need to enjoy the process and be totally in the present moment. And just feel, smell all the ingredients and maybe feel the texture. So how does it feel when we touch these ingredients? And what is the smell of all these ingredients? And breathing is so important because it reminds us of the present moment that sometimes we are like missing out because of that thing that we're trapped either in the past or have this anxiety about future, and where is the present moment? So yes, here and now, how do I feel when I'm in this process totally? how do I like? How do I like to touch these ingredients? Do I like to smell them? And do I like to feel the texture? So now the onions are ready, and I will put these tomatoes. So these tomatoes would need some time. And then I must add this beautiful sauce of walnuts and spices, and I will just wait for a minute. And meanwhile, I will show what is this. So this I have already prepared out of corn flour and some cheese, dried mozzarella type cheese. But so this is actually done like I don't know if you know Italian polenta. So the technique is more or less the same. And then we add this cheese inside. But there are two techniques. This is elargi with cheese. But there is also the possibility to do chadi, which is still done by the corn flour, and we add some cheese inside, but dried one, and then we fry it. So this is cooked. This one is cooked, and this one will be fried. And here is this type of cheese, which like a little bit similar, but not really. It's sulguni. Okay, now I am adding the sauce to this mixture of tomatoes and onions. And you see, we have this type of mixture. I will leave it there, and then afterwards we will add some mushrooms. So this dish actually is can be done, or traditional one is done by meat, but since I'm vegetarian, I'm using mushrooms. It could be also done by mushrooms. You can substitute. Okay, and I can add also mushrooms now. And you do really things mindfully, even when you are just turning around. So just try to keep this connection between you and all these ingredients in front of you. And observe what is happening inside. Whether you like all these like nice smells around in the kitchen, or whether not. And really, when we practice this mindful cooking and this connection with the chosen ingredients, we really cannot eat junk foods anymore. And we really choose carefully what we need to put into our bodies. Because our body is a temple for us. So we have to take care of our body. We have to be really mindful the needs of our body. And we have to respect and not put like junk foods or soda or anything else that may cause some not really nice consequences. So this mixture is boiling really well, and well, you don't know, but you can imagine the smell around out of the spices. So just to show you, it looks like this. And this is more or less, yes, it needs to boil again. Yes, it needs some time. And the idea is to eat or feel the flavors of this dish together with this allergy balls. This way, or fried one also could be possible. And when we come to the end of our mindful cooking, we just acknowledge again ourselves and all these beautiful ingredients that have been exposed in front of us. Sometimes we take things granted. Not sometimes, maybe often, and if not always. That's, okay, I have cheese. Yeah, that should be like this. Yeah, it's normal, but that's not normal. Because many people do not have that. And we have to be really grateful and develop this gratitude that we have exactly these ingredients in front of us, because it could be that we could not find those ingredients. For example, I don't know if everybody can find corn flour abroad or these spices in all countries. So that's why now I am really grateful that I have all these ingredients in front of me, and to let you experience and give you a little bit of taste. How does it feel, and what kind of benefits you can have when you choose your ingredients and when you cook mindfully. And then, of course, afterwards you eat mindfully as well, because yeah, There is no rush. We have to take care of ourselves. So my dish, I think, is more or less ready. So I can put now just a little bit to show you what I have done. Et voila. This is these are LRG balls and mushroom with walnut sauce. Nigziani Kharcho is the Georgian title of this dish. So thank you for joining me. And now, if you want to share, if someone wants to share the experience, or we could just have a closing, mindful closing.
I wanted to say real quickly how lovely it is that both of you chose to share as part of the session. Both of you got to hear a lot about your food and your cooking while we were at Chula. And so it's wonderful to circle back and have you be a part of this and share with everybody else. So thank you so much for this experience.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah. We have a little Chula reunion here. Yes.
Nino, somebody, Catherine would like to know if you used olive oil.
Yes, I have used olive oil, yes, but for cooking.
And Dr. Asma said, awesome session. This reminds me that we need to open our taste buds for other cultures in order to create an inclusive society. Well said, Dr. Asma.
Good comment.
That's a good point. Thank you so much. Yes, and actually what I would love to share again, because, yeah, as I said, in most of the time, we are not conscious and we are not mindful. So we really lose these beautiful moments. And I remember that was not my first time when I was having Indian food, for example. When we were in Thailand, and we had Thai food, and then at some point we decided to go for Indian flavors, and I don't know, I just wanted to cry because of the emotions, because it was like that time. Of course, that was not the first time when I was trying Indian food, but that was the exact moment when I got so emotional. And grateful to have so much diversity in flavors, and that diversity is amazing, really. And we have to really grateful to have so many recipes, so many flavors, so many spices around the world. So this is yes. Okay, so maybe we close the session also with some mindfulness. And if tech support can put some music on the background would be great. And I really thank Sharada, my really amazing and inspiring colleague. to join me and to let the participants travel to Nepal and to Georgia.
I also feel the same, Nino, and I'm also thankful to you for the collaboration, which is really a good experience for myself.
Thank you so much, and thanks to all amazing global team involved in the session. So let's come again here and now. And take a deep breath in and breathe out. And just observe what has changed within you, how everything shifted from the beginning of the session to the end of the session. Are you more mindful and more conscious? Do you feel connected to your ingredients and to the people who joined this session from all over the world? Just acknowledge yourself as a unique and amazing creature of on this planet Earth. So nobody was born before like you, and nobody will be born. That's why you are unique. And you came on this planet Earth with your unique talents to enjoy this present moment and to embrace diversity through all of our wonderful senses. How lucky we are that we can experience, to feel, to touch, to taste, to love, to feel gratitude, and to have compassion towards others. And on that note, and from that perspective, you may look at other participants and feel this gratitude that they joined this session. Thank you so much.